end of the day, that hurts the economy. It's great for the regulators' jobs, right? It justifies their existence, bigger budgets, bigger staffing for those regulatory agencies. But for purposes of business, it sucks. It's really, really bad. And I don't, at the end of the day, maybe I'm talking incredibly naively, but I don't really understand how they don't see that and own up to that.
Yeah, it just seems very, even if you think it's the wrong, so again, if they, as long as they gave clarity on what their view is, then people can work around it and build around it. But when you have no clarity, then people can't do anything. It's kind of stupid. It seems counterintuitive, especially considering their role is, well, used to be, to actually be valuable. Matt, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, so I think this lack of clarity has been an issue that the crypto industry has been complaining about for a long time. But I think what's changed in the last couple of months is that it's kind of getting out of the SEC's hands and it's going to the judicial branch. So the XRP ruling in particular, where the judge there did a very thoughtful opinion and essentially decided that XRP token was not a security. And that's, like the XRP is kind of bordering on like a shitcoin, I think. And so if the judicial branch is indicating that that's not a security, then I think it stands to reason that ETH in particular should certainly be viewed as not a security. So I think the kind of point that the SEC's lack of clarification on these really important points is kind of forcing the judicial branch to come in, and they're kind of siding on the side of the crypto enthusiasts. So this is something that I think it's just kind of getting away from Gary Gensler. It's starting to matter less what Gary Gensler says and wants, because it's just he doesn't have the authority to make these sweeping judgments on this stuff.
Yeah. So overall, we're thinking that we're going to continue to see some form of movement in ETH, and we're going to continue to see a rise on these rumors, or do you think they'll be choppy for a little bit? Matthew? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, David.
No, I think we kind of plateau here. I don't think we're going to hear any more news. I mean, we're not expecting any more news, particularly relating to ETH at this point. So it wouldn't surprise me if we kind of hold out around here, and then ETH continues to trade in line with whatever Bitcoin does and the rest of the altcoin universe does.
Yeah, Matthew.
I think, thank you again so much for having me and being on this topic. I think one thing that's so interesting is that people in this space are so eager for any news and eager for any reason to just get back into the space or pump liquidity into the ecosystem. So I think the rise above 2K is just a mental barrier. I think getting over that number was something that was visually appealing to the people in the ecosystem. And I think that the rumors certainly, warrant that, but I don't see it, going and popping off anytime soon, really.
Yeah. All right, Mickle, let's hear it. I know you're a bull, so I want to hear it.
I was just going to say, well, I thought it was a little comical, Matt Smith calling XRP a shitcoin. But outside of that, I think what we're probably going to see going forward is we're likely going to see Bitcoin, XRP, and ETH all trading pretty similar over the next couple months and years, because those are the three cryptocurrencies now that seem to have regulatory clarity in the United States. And I think what we're likely going to see is, as the approval of these Bitcoin spot ETFs start rolling in, we're going to see institutions who likely want to position themselves before retail starts getting exposure to these products, likely slowly starting to work their way back into a lot of these assets. So I have a feeling those three assets are likely the three that will benefit most from the institutional money flowing back into this ecosystem. And I think right now, as we're seeing kind of the SEC being forced to stand down by the courts, I think we're likely seeing a lot of that money start to reposition itself back to where it's going to be positioned as we kind of enter this new era where there is more regulatory certainty.
And I just want to respond
briefly,
if I can touch on that. I actually don't have a strong opinion on XRP, but if you just think of things as a spectrum with Bitcoin on the far end, clearly not a security. I think regardless of what you think of crypto, you'd kind of agree with that. And then on the far other end, it'd be like the extreme speculation ones, like Pepe coin or whatever. XRP is at least somewhere towards the middle. I actually don't have a strong opinion on it one way or another. But the point is, if the judicial branch is saying XRP is, not a security, then I think it bodes well for a lot of the other things that are, kind of further to the right of that in terms of credibility.
Yeah, I mean, there's only
Mickle, I'll let you
yeah, I
respond.
mean, there's only one cryptocurrency, right? That's right now really getting adoption by financial institutions in the cross-border payment sector. It's XRP right now. To move ETH, you're paying $100 gas fee. So I just think when you break down kind of the technological argument behind that statement on it being a security, XRP is the only digital asset ruled by a court right now to be not a security. I would say it's a lot further to the end of the spectrum with Bitcoin than somewhere in the middle. But hey, if you're not focused on what institutions are doing and instead focused on watching retail flip pictures of monkeys, I guess you might see it a little differently.
Yeah, I mean, wow, okay. I think what I'm hearing though, the challenge that I have is I actually don't even understand why Bitcoin, which is barely used for transactions today, is not considered a security. So I know that I'm on the complete opposite side of that coin. People are going to get upset by that comment, but most people are buying Bitcoin as as something that goes up and to the right in their minds. They're not buying and trading Bitcoin. So that, if anything, I kind of agree with Mickle that if XRP is being used for transactions currently, more Mickle transaction activity in XRP is equivalent to Bitcoin or less,
There's currently
or
more.
just
There's
want to
currently more transactions on the XRP ledger
exactly,
than Bitcoin, and there has been throughout history. And funny enough, there's
exactly.
actually
So
last quarter there or last year, there's actually $13 billion of institutional money that flew through XRP as a bridge currency for cross-border payments. That's why I think Matt's argument that this is some shitcoin towards the middle of the spectrum is just kind of funny because it's one of the few networks that's actually being adopted for utility. The rest kind of just
for
seem
actual
like
transactions,
yeah, the rest kind of seem like speculative playgrounds.
and that's what I'm saying. Like the whole speculative aspect of, I will say, the fact that most people buy Bitcoin because it goes up, like 99% of people. How many of you have actually done transactions with Bitcoin? Maybe one here, one there, but most of your Bitcoin is not used for transactions. It's used for value, right? And you believe that Bitcoin is going to continue to go up because people are going to continue to buy it. People are talking about the halving. They're not talking about some new technology that enables Bitcoin to be better for transactions, or even Ethereum to be better for I mean, that's what I'm saying. So ultimately, first of all, I really wish they just came out and said Ethereum was a security. I think David is right that they've been a